through, fumbling through, fumbling through, fumbling through, fumbling through.
Roll up to the imaginary circus that is Fumble Through!
Fumble Through!
A podcast that lives its life to see how many halfling monks it takes to change a light bulb. The answer is just one, because he knows that change comes from within. It's that time again to break out those dice trays, crack open that fresh set of new dice and redesign those character sheets as we sit down at the table of imagination. Once again, we prepare to get back to the adventures of Miles, Flopsy and Reg. But before we get to that...
So make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. But we're going to start doing this thing where I'm going to get you guys to do a task every week. So this week, go on to Apple Podcasts. Go on to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review.
Oh, yeah. There's some good reviews there already. I did one.
So every week we like to roll around some geek themes and concepts to get us into the correct headspace to play, and this week is no exception. If you'd like to join the fun and games of all the dicey question goodness and either answer a question or give us a question that we can discuss, head over to social media, message us, and don't forget to use the hashtag Dicey Questions. This week's Dicey question is: if your character was part of a circus show, tell us the stage name that you would use and describe your act.
Okay, I got this. Miles the Magnificent, and he'd be a hypnotist.
Just go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
And sleep.
Yep.
I got one. Mine would be Reginald the Rocket, and I'd get fired at the cannon.
Oh. I reckon fantastic Flopsy fire breather extraordinaire as he throws bombs all around himself and doesn't get burnt by any fire. I think it'd be something like that.
I like the alliteration that you guys came up with very, very quickly.
I wonder if there's a better circus moment for Flopsy's disregard for humanity, though.
Just bombing the crowd.
Yeah, I'm standing in the middle of all these people. Magnificent Miles, can you put them to sleep while I burn them to death, please? Now, shoot the little Reginald into these dead people.
I always thought Flopsy would be the clown.
Tears of a clown.
Send in the clowns.
Where we left last time, you had just done battle with a small horde of zombies who drove you into this nearby room to tend to your wounds and catch your breath. Now that you have a light, you begin to actually see around this room a little better. And you can see that this once a storage room, presumably for something like cured meats, this area has now been converted into a prison/torture chamber. The inside door has been reinforced with iron bands. The walls have been fitted with anchors for manacles and chains. In one corner of the room, some members, Saloni included, are already working on freeing the only prisoner, a small gnome bearing cuts, burns, and bruises of torture, who's whimpering in utter sheer panic at the entrance of you guys. While his restraints are secured to the wall, there may be some items of use amongst the work table in here if you need help to get them off. Even at a cursory glance, you can see on top of the table there's instruments of pain and torture that seem to be well cared for, oiled, sharpened, well maintained. Scattered around some of these tools are bits of wood, nails, chains, and other items that may be put to grisly task. So this gives you a bit of an idea of around the surrounds that you're in. The bigger picture here, though, for me is, what state are you guys in right now? Like, you ran in here, there's still a zombie outside that's alive. You did dispatch most of the zombies, but you kind of came in here in not such a good way. So what are you guys sitting on in terms of hit points and stuff?
Before we do that, can I just clarify how big a small gnome actually is?
He's just a small gnome.
Okay.
Same size as you.
It is a he, right?
Yeah.
Well, it is. A gnome is the same size as...
I thought a halfling is slightly bigger than a gnome. I
Yeah,
thought a gnome was smaller on the average sizes.
Oh, I thought
They're about the same.
they're about the same, yeah. But you're stockier.
No, okay. It doesn't matter when we're all lying down,
No.
I suppose.
Gnomes have bigger penises.
Halflings are definitely taller when you're lying down.
All the 11sies. Yeah, so...
Okay, who wants to go first?
Well, Flopsy's fine. His health is fine. He's just resource. Well, he didn't get in that battle, right? He was doing all the other messing around. And we did some wand work at the end of the last episode.
We just got through the
You
door.
literally got through the door, slammed the door shut, and
So
and we
Reggie
stopped.
is looking battered up.
We did some wand work at the beginning of
That's
last
right.
episode.
Yep. That's correct.
Yep.
So, Reg,
Reg is looking rough as.
Okay.
Really, really rough.
what about Miles?
Miles would also be bleeding profusely from numerous gashes and bite wounds, and he'd be like, "Saloni, stop trying to free that prisoner. Have you not seen the puppet show Saw? He's probably part of it."
The puppet show.
Puppet show.
A puppet show.
I don't think.
Hi, everybody, chop your arm off.
Well, I don't see you doing that real well as a play, but a puppet show,
The
Punch and
pantomime.
Judy.
The pantomime Saw.
You could do it as a play. You just have convicts.
True.
Even Saloni's
That
probably.
is so British of you, Luke.
Even Saloni's pretty beaten up at this point as well. So Flopsy's probably the least affected, other than Tippy in the room in terms of hit points and damage.
Yeah, Tippy's doing great.
Sitting on my shoulder, like tweeting away.
Dropping some cogs. Oh, I've got cog all down the back of my shirt
Oil and cogs.
out of the clogaca.
Wow.
I actually like that one.
So the real question here is, what are you guys going to do? You're inside this room. You've barricaded. What's the next tactic?
Flopsy's got a very clear agenda. He doesn't care about other people being hurt right now. He's just going to do a very quick assessment of the room and try and make some intelligence checks on what's doing. Is this something about the people getting eaten or fed to the Lord that Tilly talked about? Just wants to make sure everything's in check, make sure he does a good perception check, and that no one else can come in and that the door is secure against entry.
All right, so just do a bit of a search around, looking for. I'm assuming that this search is part of looking for secret doors
All
and
of it,
looking
just,
for
you know,
entrances
a
and
good
all that
assessment
kind
of the
of stuff.
room.
Can Little Reg give you a hand with that?
If that's what you want to do right now instead of physician heal thyself, you may.
Yeah.
Miles is going to uncork a potion.
I assist.
All
So-
right, so you start to look around the room. Just give me a perception check.
22.
We did
The-
plus 2.
As you're looking around, you don't see anything other than that what I described is
Yep.
fairly much the room itself. But you're looking around the table for things of use, and you find a wand.
Oh, he will do a detect magic spellcraft check
hmm
to identify this thing.
You might also want to do an alchemy check for the flask that you see. You're fairly confident you know what this flask might be.
Okay, so he'll do a full detect magic around the room. There's
Yep.
2 magical items and he'll identify them.
You identify what was your check for identifying the wand?
27.
27. It is a wand of cure moderate wounds with 16 charges left in it.
Jeez.
You also find a cure light wounds potion and a vial full of acid that you
Like
may
an
think
acid flask.
can be used as an acid flask.
Okay.
But other than that, the room itself is securable. Like I guess if you are looking in here, this room seems like it could be a good place if you want to rest up. You might be able to jimmy the door with the tools that are inside of here, jam the lock, and you even think that actually that zombie outside might be a help rather than a hindrance in terms of
Guard
hearing
duty.
if somebody's coming, that kind of thing.
Reginald, there's this wand here. You might want to use that to assist yourself and the rest of the party while I see to this gnome on the wall.
Oh, all right. Thanks, mate.
This one's a cure moderate. It's
Cure mod?
a good little powerful little thing. Only 16 charges, but use them if you need them.
I just drank a potion and I got an 8, so
There's another one here if
so.
you like it. Replace that potion with this one. Take the cure light.
I've got another one as well. But
Cure mod is that?
2d8 plus 3.
Oh, yeah, boy. Okay, Little Reg is going to have a little...
Saloni, would you like a potion if Miles already has one? Would you like this one?
Sacre bleu, I'm not doing well. Yes.
Reginald
Perhaps-
will heal you, but take this potion just in case, eh?
All right. So you spend a little bit of time healing up. Just mark off from the wands what that does to get you guys back at full health. And then we are back to a point where you guys have to figure out exactly where you are. Like I'm also assuming that you're fairly tapped out here as well. You're fairly much in a position where can you continue this?
Flopsy's got a tiny little bit of spell energy left in him, but not much else. Once that's gone, you know how effective he is in battle.
Miles can probably keep going. I got one spell left. It's a big one. So I'm happy to keep going if you guys are.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. Little Reg is slightly tapped out on the old magic as well, but what he's remembered is he's got a nice little bit of kit in his bag that he hasn't had out for a little while, so he's going to upgrade himself to his double camo on a chain.
Oh, nice. He's more interested in this gnome on the wall, though.
All right. Saloni, by this point, has freed the elf. She started doing that when you first got in here, tending them and pulling. So she's kind of broken through some of the locks. She's grabbed some of the tools and started sawing through. So the manacles start to fall off. She slumps this small dwarf on. Not
You've gone gnome, elf, dwarf.
Walk into a bar.
You think one of them would have seen it. Yeah, so and then she tends to the gnome. She sits the gnome down, and he kind of calms down a bit, and you can see her just trying to be tender and calm him down.
I reckon maybe a hit on that wand for this one.
Oh, yeah. What, the new one?
No.
4.
So you walk over and you tend to the wounds of the of this person.
Hello, what's your name there?
My name's Jorik Afton.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Jorik. Under unusual circumstances. What? Tell us how you got into this predicament.
I was working in the lumberyard for the guild, and then 2 coppers came and they started breaking things. When I tried to stop them because no one else was around, they cracked me over the head. And when I woke up, I was here. I've been here ever since. It's I've had a real rough time.
What have they been doing to you here?
In the beginning, they would talk about sacrificing me. Someone named Skells something. But then all of a sudden everything changed, and they just started hacking on me, just getting joy in doing this, and he breaks down a little bit more, and you can see he starts to shudder and some, and then he pulls himself back together. The lady, I think her name was Mistress Tilly. They called her that, Mistress Tilly. She got angry and she was taking it out on me. She kept talking about me being more useful in the future.
Yes. Well, you can console yourself. Well done on pushing that emotion right down. Well done. That's good. Keep it very much in the present here. Tilly's dead, you'll be happy to know, and it's our intention to see you safely out of this place, if you can do what you're told. And
You're here to free me?
Yes, sir. We are actually members of the Watch. The people that you saw were fake imposters, if you will.
But thank you.
Now listen here, mate. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be pretty tense getting out of here. So you need to be following instructions. Stick with us. We'll look after you.
I can do that. I whatever you need.
my suggestion is to stay 5 foot behind me to my right, and if I say step back, step the bloody hell back.
So don't worry, if you're 5 feet behind him, you're well out of the trouble.
Right. Have a little bit of time, rest up, have some water, get yourself together, but we've got to move on soon, or we're going to rest up here.
I'm happy to move when you guys
I
are.
don't
What do
think
you
it's
want?
going to be safe for us to rest up for too long, Flopsy.
Okay, well, let's...
They know we're here.
That they do. Do they?
Yes,
Yeah.
because someone unopened all these doors, remember? Unless it was this guy, and then he shackled himself to the wall.
Quite
That's
frankly, Flopsy, I don't want to spend much time in this place if I can help it. Let's
Yep,
just get
fair
out
enough.
of Dodge,
All
yeah?
right. How are you, Saloni? You were right to carry on?
I should be fine. I am all out of the healing, but I do have my weapons, the rapier and the dagger.
You've really given yourself a hard time here. 2 different accents.
Wait till we get them in the room with a goblin.
What was that guy's, the gnome's name again? Sorry.
The
Ringo? No, sorry.
The gnome's name was Jorik Afton. He announced himself as.
Alas, poor Jorik.
Oh, no.
You want me to go out there?
Yes, if you stay behind me, unless you want to stay here,
What about all of them?
they will be out there, yes.
We're going to take care of them.
Have you killed them all?
Not
Some of
all
them.
of them. Would you rather stay in this place of pain or come out with us with a chance to live?
Who? You've killed the man.
What
The one
men?
in the watch uniform. You've killed him.
Tell me who you've seen and how many of them there are out there.
There's a woman. So she comes in. She's the worst.
Tilly?
She made me beg her for death.
Is that the Tilly lady you talked about?
Yes, the mistress.
All right,
but
tick
the
her off. She's dead.
But even the worst one.
Tick her off. Love it.
The worst one, you say?
Even worse than that, there's the one that captured me. I didn't notice at the time, but he's got some kind of some power. It's in his head. He can control people by the looks of things. He looks like he comes from Cheliax.
Describe this man.
You know, dark hair, pale skin, but he wears his watch uniform, and he comes in here, and he takes his nightstick. They call him Vernhard.
Vern.
He can make people do things they don't want to do.
I think we've met this man. He likes things in order, as my recall. This is Vern, who we met at the front door when we came in and went into his office, remember? Very well put together man. Everything in order.
Right. I knew I didn't like that guy.
Talks in an accent kind of like this. Is that him, Yorick?
That's what he sounds like.
Great. I think, yes. Anyone else you've of note?
They're the only ones that they come in here, but they talk about Skellsgig.
Yes, we've heard about this girl's gig. Any ideas on
I
what
don't
that
want
is?
to be. I don't want to be sacrificed. You've killed whatever that is. It seems like they're more afraid of that than they are of anything else.
We're unclear on what a Skell's gig is or how or where it might reside. We are here with you now and have made our way through some zombies and some goblins. There are still some zombies out there.
Could you get me out?
I think if we can get out, you can come with us. Are you good with a bow or an axe is there something that you might be able to assist us with a chop or a bang or a kick or a hit?
I'm a carpenter.
Great.
So an axe,
great.
I'm not sure you're familiar with a carpenter, but a hammer would probably be better.
Or chisel.
Yeah, chisel.
Give him the dagger.
Perhaps a saw.
Shank.
Told you so. Yeah, you just stay behind us, sir, and we'll get you out of here.
I mean, if you really want to be helpful, mate, you can just, when I'm fighting somebody, just get to the opposite side of where I am. So in like a flanking position, that'd be really helpful.
With a dagger.
With a dagger.
So you know how you guys walk around the world and you see this is a commoner. This is not a combatant. This looks like somebody who would.
So this is a standard 10 stat line all the way down.
This would definitely be someone like you look at them and you're like, you can tell he can't handle himself in.
He's been asking to level up for like 20 years.
Yeah, in a
Hans
fight.
Gruber. That's what
He's
it
a
is.
young guy, so he hasn't. You know, he certainly is not combat ready. Even looking at him, he looks soft.
Base 10 stat line. I've had a barbarian that's been worse off than that.
You just stay near Flopsy, mate. You'll be fine.
All right, thank you. And he takes another sip of the water, and Saloni kind of gives him a little bit of rations from her pack and gets him something to eat and puts a cloak around him to cover up his nudity.
Hey, Miles starts stretching. He's like, okay, first point of order.
Reggie looks to Miles and says, no splash damage.
First point of order.
Can't promise anything.
No, I'm not worried about me. I mean on the gnome.
First point of order. We have another zombie out there.
All right, let's do it.
We'll let it come into us, right? Let's not go to it. Open the door, surround it, smash it.
Yep.
Them surrounding us is not the ideal position, right?
Correct.
Quite.
Great.
Just one? Because it's just one? I kind of lost count. I got a bit hazy. I
Either
got
way,
banged up pretty
let's
bad.
stay this side of the door and let it
Yeah,
come
yeah,
in
yeah.
5 foot
Yep.
at a time.
There may be two. I can't remember either, but I'm pretty sure there was at least one.
All right, who's opening the door?
I'll open the door. You guys hit the
I'll
crap
stand
out of
about
it,
10
right?
feet back.
If Saloni and you are in the flanking position either side of the door,
Cool.
and then Miles and I...
I'm the bait.
Great.
I like it.
Jorik, enter the room there. Stay in the corner. Stay safe.
Is there a table he can hide under or something like that? There wasn't there?
So he moves it out of the way.
I-
Saloni moves up to one side of the door. Who's on the other side?
Well, yeah. So I think Miles was going to open the door. Sorry, Flopsy was going to open the door. Reggie and Saloni were going to be in a flanking position either side of the door, but away. So I'm hoping to.
Miles is going to have his gas bow drawn ready as soon as the door opens. If there's a zombie on the other side, straight away.
Perfect. So how far away from the door are you going to stand, Reg? Because Saloni wants to stand right next to the door.
Yeah. As
Okay,
the zombie
so-
moves in, that 5 foot square, that's where you should be, either side of it.
Oh, okay.
Bang, bang, as it steps into the room.
Bang, bang, into the room.
I was going to be about 10 foot back, so as soon as it comes in, I can sweep it out with the Kame at range.
So you guys get into a position, you get ready. Flopsy flicks open the door. It takes a couple of seconds before you see a shambling creature from outside in the well-lit room into the dark corridor. See where you are. I assume somebody makes a bit of noise to draw its attention, and the zombie comes shambling through. Can I get some initiatives, please, just so that we can put this into an order? Flopsy, what'd you get?
18.
Oh, that's very good. Miles.
Yeah.
Reg.
14.
Miles.
15.
Ooh, always that one better.
So only 5 plus.
Cooly Magooly. So you hold for the moment. That gives everybody but Saloni a chance to act. However, even with that, it's not a surprise round or anything. So you guys are all waiting in ambush. This zombie just moves straight into the room, provoking an attack of opportunity from you, Reg, and from you, Saloni. Miles, you've got your gas bow out.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get, Reg?
Okay, so Reg, does an 11 hit?
With flanking.
Does a 13 hit?
Yes, it does.
Fuck, I don't fumble.
Oh, that's not good.
I was waiting there. I was like,
no.
oh no, come on, please.
That's not great.
I heard the 2 rolls. I was like, oh, this is over.
Saloni's rapier strikes out very quickly. Can you roll me a d6 of damage, please, somebody?
4.
4 points damage. With that, the zombie gets taken through the eye, slumps to the floor, and just... You guys had beaten the crap out of this zombie pretty hard before any of this
Just
happened.
listen to see if there's any more brains outside.
There's not brains inside.
Perception check?
Yep.
22.
Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Cool, let's go.
Anybody else doing a perception?
I think we're good, boys. Let's move.
19 for Miles.
No.
Okay. So guys don't hear anything further.
Does Flopsy think there's anything of value on these zombies, or are they just in rags and tatters?
They're in rags and tatters. They're certainly not, they're not dressed up in any way. You think they were at some point dug up from a cemetery, so they're pretty raggy.
Right. Okay. So let's drag them into the room, shut the doors so people don't walk across them in the corridor, just in case.
Yep.
Cool.
And then shut the doors and carry on.
Certainly. So when you want to carry on, do you want to keep going around the L-shaped room towards the area? So you can go back from whence you came, which was near the cold room, back into that room with the slime pits in them. You can go into the chapel room where you fought Tilly, the mistress, or you can go around the corner from where it looked like a lot of the zombies had popped out of a door. Remember the door opened and then the zombies came? You haven't been that way yet.
Let's go that way. Let's see.
Yeah,
if
let's
I
go.
can
Zombie
find-
door.
Okay. You move around, just marching order. I'm assuming, Reg, you're going first.
Yep.
And then where do you want Saloni in this whole order of
Probably
walking?
second. and
Okay,
then
so it goes
Miles.
Reg, Saloni, Miles, Flopsy. Then you're going to put Jorik at the
No,
back?
Jorik when we're walking just in front of me, and then if we get into battle, just behind me.
Perfect.
What's the light level?
The light level in here, you would have to have your own light.
Tippy's got his
it's
high beams on.
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
Unless at this point, the only time that there was light was in that chapel room.
Okay, yep.
So everywhere else is pitch black. You move around to where the door was opened. The smell of rot from these zombies is quite powerful in this room. And you walk in. Carved into the floor of this room is a large circular arcane symbol that's marred beyond recognition by scorch marks and deep rends. Though there's little left to fathom what this symbol once was, the room itself lingers with the remnants of that greasy feeling that you're all really familiar with, as though something very powerful has been at play here and the energy left behind has been slow to pass or to eep away from the room. Dominating one wall of the room is a picture of a wolf-like creature with large clawed hands instead of paws, almost a human-like face rather than a wolf itself, but it is on all fours. Around the creature are depicted various undead in supplication, holding victims that look ready for the sacrifice. The creature itself has blood dripping down its jaw as if it has just gorged itself on one of the victims. Beneath the picture is a clipped and spidery script that are in a set of symbols that seem to create a word. You might need linguistics for this. Is there anybody here who speaks Infernal?
Nope.
Not infernal, no.
Okay. So you don't.
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, I do.
As soon as you look at that spidery script, you recognize it as being in the language infernal, and it simply says the word Skellsgig.
That's him. That's the Skulls gig. That looks, and it would seem those claws would be consistent with the murders, and he's been out rampaging and getting victims.
I thought, I thought Skellsgig was meant to be a ghoul.
I thought we were after a werewolf. What's going on?
A girl? Skellsgig's a girl?
Yeah, keep it in your pants, Lindsay.
In one side of the room, you also see a pile of bones that look like they've been gnawed upon. The marrow's been sucked out of them. You can see bite marks as if something's cracked into them and that has just ripped the bones apart. You know how they're fibrous when they crack? Something has chewed these bones back to and sucked every bit of nutrient that they can and then tossed them into a pile. Amongst that pile, you can see like bits of rags and that kind of stuff as well.
Detect magic.
Yeah, Flopsy's going to detect magic and try and put together what this room is used for.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a thought that this is a summoning room and where Skellsgig might be brought to be fed things, and then they can't hold him here for long. He's going to try and verify that. Detect magic, anything?
Nothing.
Intelligence check for the use of the room or the symbol on the floor, or
The symbol on the floor is so marred and burnt and crazed. It's almost impossible to detect exactly what that symbol might have been. You do get the idea that there's something magical has taken place in this room. So, and it's probably got something to do with portals or with summoning or something along those lines.
look, there's no magic here, but I would think that this is a summoning portal, and they're bringing him here for a short period of time to feed him, getting him powerful enough for, what did they say, the arrival of Skellsgig the Devourer.
Devourer of Reason or something like that.
Yeah, and you are right. I think he was called a ghoul at some point. Maybe we misheard or misunderstood. I don't know. Yeah.
We were listening through a door.
It's true. It's true. Maybe it's a girl.
Maybe they're saying he was cool.
Cool. That's true. That's true.
Let's keep moving, boys.
He's so cool.
Anything else to find in this room? Big perception check.
Okay, make your perception checks.
7 for Miles.
23 for Reg.
17 for Flopsy.
Reg, you are looking through the bones, just going through the detritus that's left through there. You're pulling out
femur.
You're pulling out bits of clothes and bits of cloth. You see a couple of old watch uniforms that have been ripped apart in here. That remnant tatters. You actually find an old watchman's badge that's got bite marks and
It's got a number on it.
and rends in it. It's chewed up, I guess, is the best way. It's as if somebody's put it in their mouth and like crunched on it for a while. So it's got bite marks in it. It no longer resembles your badge, but it looks very similar to that.
You can just make out the words Thundercrack.
But you also find a couple of items amongst the bones as well. You find a very nice looking dagger, a dagger that's obviously been well made, well crafted. Someone's put a lot of time and effort into making it nice. You find a necklace that's made of silver. You find a couple of stones that are in a little carry box that look like they might have at one point been cufflinks, like a cufflink box. And you also find a bracelet, a pendant, and you find a little case with small aromatic sticks in there that look like incense.
Here, Flopsy, look what I found.
Can I take that silver necklace off Reg? And I want to throw it to Jorik and say, what do you make of this?
Mhm.
I throw it to him.
I'm a carpenter.
Does he catch it?
I don't make things out of metal.
Does he catch it?
Does he catch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Flopsy's going to do it.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do. That was way too subtle for me there, Lindsay.
Flopsy's going to make a mental note to appraise that later, as in off air, and then there's nothing magical. Let's come back to it later.
Yep, there's nothing magical here at all. Just make your appraise check, Brett. Actually, no, I make the appraise checks. What's your appraise?
+8.
Okay, perfect. Next to everything, masterwork dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Necklace is worth 150 GP. The cufflinks are worth about 100 each, like the bits of jade in the necklace.
That's 200.
55 GP for the bracelet. The pendant has a pearl on it that you think's worth about 200 GP.
What a perler.
And the incense are worth, there are 10 sticks of incense, and you actually think that each one of these sticks is worth about 10 GP. They're very,
Crikey.
they're very, very exotic.
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah, scary spice. All right, carry on. There's nothing left in here. Dead end room, no other doors.
Surely that expensive. They're posh spice.
Directly across the way from this room is another door. And you come out to the corridor. So you've got a couple of options that you can go. You can see that the corridor leads further down, not the way you came, but further into the complex. And there's a door that you can see with your light at the end of this corridor, but you can also see the corridor bends around. Again, it's the second right-hand turn. So you think that you've come sort of in a bit of a C shape at least, if not a square. But there is a door that is directly opposite this door.
Let's check all doors. I don't want more zombies coming out.
Do you want to listen?
Yeah, and check for traps.
Great.
Listen.
Door protocol.
Breaching protocol 1.
Sound check.
All right. Anybody that's doing a sound check, sibilance 1, 2. Anyone that's doing a perception, just roll your checks. All
8
right.
for Miles.
Well, cool.
19 for Reg.
And 23 for Flopsy. He's also checking for traps.
Perfect. And Saloni is taking a big wad of hair out of her ears by the looks of things. You don't hear anything. I don't know. She rolled really badly. I rolled a natural 1.
A big wad of hair out of her ears.
Did you want to do the trap check roll?
Yes, I will do the track. Far out. I will do the trap checking roll. I'm going to use this new dice that I bought. I don't even know what company it's from, but there is a bone dragon in place of the 20.
Nice.
My perception is +7.
You detect no traps.
Should be clear.
Did you guys see? Sorry, I'm going to sidetrack this with something cool I saw the other day. You can get dice made out of bones of humans from retired medical skeletons.
Gross.
What? That is fucking gross.
So you can get like a bone made out of a skull of a retired
That is some
medical
dark,
skeleton.
dark
Reaper?
shit.
Bone 7. Let's go.
It'd be better if it was retired adventurers.
Should we look in this room?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going through the door. So I was going to say, do you want to? The door protocol. Should we do the same gig that we did at the last door? You swing it open.
Great idea.
Yep.
Jarek behind me.
Gaspo
Yep.
ready.
All right. So you open this door into another. Again, there's no light in here, but as your light spins, Reg, because I assume you're sort of at the front leading the charge, the room resembles a meat locker, although without the hanging sides of beef, it is very bare. You see dozens of those wicked metal-looking hooks that were in the ceiling that were on the tracks when you first came in that the two goblins are currently affixed to. They're dangling from the ceilings here, but they don't move around. So essentially they would bring big haunches of meat in and then hook them up. Several of these hooks bear dried blood stains.
But no meat in here.
Nothing.
Detect magic.
Nothing.
Quick search in the room.
Yep.
Everyone.
I'm going to go for a nothing coming next, right?
17.
26 for Reg.
5 for Miles. I rolled something better, but then I tried to
is
see what it
daydreaming
is.
today, right?
Yeah.
Because my dice is so hard to read. I rolled something better, and I tried to pick it up, and it rolled down my tray, and I lost it, so I had to roll again.
Reg, you're walking around the room and you see the drips of blood and that kind of stuff. But you walk past the wall at one point and stuck inside the wall, you can see a bit of cloth. You pull that cloth out of the wall and you can see it's again a watchman's uniform that's been ripped. That looks like it's got a blood stain on it, but it looks like someone was dragged in here and tried to grab onto the wall, and part of their clothes were ripped off, and then you can see a couple of claw marks as if like a hand scratched the wall being put in.
You see Flopsy go a little bit green as he starts to put 2 and 2 together, and he's thinking of all the things he's eaten recently at those taverns. If any of that meat's come from Venverk's Meatworks, perhaps it wasn't the purest beef or lamb or pork
Of course
that he
it's
was
not.
hoping it was
It's a
going to
hot
be.
pocket.
Hot pockets have
who
no
kno-
meat in them.
Who knows what's in a hot pocket?
Well, not human. That's what he's worried
How
about.
do you know?
So little Reg is thinking, like, the gnome mentioned something about the guy making people do things. And we've had lots of watchmen, so say, that people are at a district. So he's thinking, were these actually watchmen, or were they people pretending to be watchmen?
What
He's
were
not so sure now.
What were the zombies wearing?
The zombie, they were just in rags.
So we couldn't tell if they were watch uniforms or
No.
nothing? Okay.
Can we not do like a jigsaw thing here?
No, they look like they were dug up.
Okay.
So they actually look like decomposed corpses.
I wonder if he's been compelling watchmen to come in, taking the uniforms off them, feeding the watchmen to
Oh, that
Skullsgig,
make-
and then taking over the, like, you know.
Sorry, we're watchmen here and we came of our own free will. We just
we-
need to be ordered here to become here.
We are extraordinary, though.
Let's keep moving, boys. I'm getting
Get
feeling
the
nervous.
willies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not trying to give you a little bit more information, but have you ever pondered the possibility that this entire place is predicated on luring watchmen in so that they can kill them?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out
And guess what?
That's
You three
Lindsay was
are.
just saying.
what Miles is trying to figure out is it the crimes committed to lure the watchmen, or is it literally the watch itself that is sending us here as a like
You think Thundercrack is in on this?
I've been thinking that for a while, but I've found shitty sense motives. So that's why I'm starting to be curious. Like, you know, he has no other watchmen working for him at the moment.
Let me be clear on that. There are other watchmen. It's a skeleton crew.
Yeah, because
So
they're all
you guys-
skeleton.
you guys-
come on.
Not a zombie crew.
Yeah,
skeleton crew.
you guys keep saying you're the only watchman. You're not the only watchman, but the majority of the force has
Yeah.
been stood down at this point because people are acting erratically and they don't know who to trust. So really the watch is filled with new recruits.
And we're the PDP. There's other precincts out there.
Yeah, but this is the area that services this watch services
true,
this
that's
area,
true.
and that's what I'm wondering. Are we a skeleton crew because they're literally a skeleton crew?
Yes, good point, Miles. Take some pondering.
We can trust no one but each other.
I've never mistrusted. Well, sometimes you say you can't trust me. But I've never mistrusted Thundercrack. Interesting. I shall think on this
Cool.
as we move along.
Let's keep moving, boys.
You get to the next door. So you move down the corridor. From here, you can see there's only 2 doors that lead this corridor that does a bit of a switchback. There's both of the doors you haven't been through. The first one is at the end of that corridor that I described earlier. And then this actual corridor goes around the corner and terminates at a door as well, a shut door.
We just do listening protocol and breaching protocol on each of those doors.
Yep.
In order.
Make your perception checks.
20 for Little Reg.
9 for Miles.
23 for Flopsy.
Yeah, you don't hear anything. So you don't detect anything. You open the door. Oh, wait. You don't think there's traps on the door either. You open the door to this next room and you find a smell that is unlike all the others in here. It's more aromatic. It's a little bit nicer but it's got that hint of rot that's under it as you walk into a filthy kitchen with cookware, dirty plates, piles of unwashed utensils. You can see some sacks of flour. You can see 2 big kegs that are presumably full of some type of liquid that stand in one of the corners of this area as well. There's a big bucket or not a bucket. There's a big barrel full of fresh water in here as well, that obviously with a ladle that's off the side of it. But you're essentially in a cooking area.
Detect magic around the room.
Nothing.
Miles is going to investigate. Is there ovens?
Yeah, there's ovens.
Let's start off with investigating the ovens.
Miles puts his head straight into an oven, turns the gas on. Yeah, I mean, looking around the room, just do a perception check for searching the room.
16.
21 for Reg.
16 for Flopsy.
Yeah, it's a regular kitchen. There's nothing. You don't find anything that's crazy.
What's in the big barrels?
The kegs.
Yeah.
You think by the smell of them, beer, ale, some type of alcoholic beverage, mead, maybe.
Right, note this place to come back
You-
and pick up the ale on the way out.
Yeah,
Carry on.
you'd have to tap the keg in order to find out. But
Oh, we'll tap
the
the
best
keg.
best bet is some type of alcohol.
Is there a bite to eat that we can give to Jorik?
Uh,
in here that seems
Unless you
reasonable?
want to actually cook something, like it looks like there's enough there to cook some flatbreads or some that kind of stuff. But there's
No,
you certainly
no cheese or anything
you
like that.
certainly wouldn't want to eat too much from in here. It doesn't look like there's a larder in here
Can we
at all.
try and sense where the rot's coming from?
From the unwashed
Oh, right.
utensils from the
Gotcha.
yeah, it's a very dirty kitchen. It's
Gotcha.
unlike many other places in here. This kitchen it ain't grand.
And the smell, the nice smell?
Is from like the flour and from
It's
the
food.
the remnants of cooking.
Yep. Smells like rotten muffins in here. Let's go.
I'm right with you. Right, onwards and upwards.
To the next door.
Yep, you make your way to the next door.
Yep,
Just
perception
do
and
your
reach.
checks.
Ooh.
Again, you determine no traps.
6.
29.
25.
I'd like to stop for a second. What is going on with you, Lindsay? What are these
Yeah.
rolls?
We're getting them out of the way now.
I don't need them.
We're getting them out of the way now, yeah.
I'm not
Wow,
the perceptive
that is
guy.
like the third or fourth, like 6 or
Sub
7.
10.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's-
because my tray's not flat.
I think it's because you're looking at Selene's butt.
I never do well on perception. Usually a -1, but this time it's a +1. But you know,
the door itself. You go to open it, and it doesn't budge.
I will disable device.
It feels like something might be jamming it from the other side.
Can I disable device?
It's not a device to disable. You think you might have to strength check. Like
is it jam?
something looks like they've put something on the other side, maybe, or somebody's barricaded it from the other side.
I'll give it a go first, Reg.
All good, mate.
It's only a 11.
An 11, but you see Miles kind of flex a little bit and try and push, but his feet just slip in the floor. He can't gain purchase on it.
Reg, have a go now, please.
Yep.
No.
I
was hoping that would have been a great
Yeah,
moment,
you
but no,
went
I
in-
rolled a 4.
You went into that and you're like, oh, I hope this works. Fuck.
All right, gentlemen. It appears ladies first.
Oh, you want Saloni to give it a go?
Before Flopsy does, yes.
Natural 1. All
She
right.
breaks her arm.
Why don't we all do this together?
I've got one other thought before we do.
Well, she means push the door open, okay?
Jorik, you're a carpenter. Any ideas?
I could cut this door up if you like. There's a saw in the other room.
Just a...
It'll take some while, but
All right,
it'll
everyone
make a lot
together.
of noise.
Ready for a push.
All right, who's going to take the lead on the push?
Reggie.
Reg will. Yeah.
Flopsy will aid.
Okay, so Reg, you're taking the lead in this push.
So Reg rolled a 20. Well, got a 20.
Okay, you get a +2 from Saloni.
Okay. So,
And for Flopsy.
Miles does not. Hey,
so 24 in total.
24 in total.
Is Miles pulling or?
it's like, have you tried the lock?
That's why he's looking at Selene's ass. all
Miles,
day.
can you please?
Try to
That is
pull.
not what you need to push. The door makes a squeak and a squeal as whatever is on the other side starts to move. You push the door open successfully, breaching into a light that comes from the other side. That acrid smell of acid reveals itself just before you see the first of those pits that you were.
More acid
from
pits.
No, it's the same room. So you come back around.
Are the
and you
goblins
can-
still hanging
and
there?
you can see the other door that you went through. It looks like somebody's come through and put barricades, like they've pushed some crates and barrels and stuff on the other side of both of these doors to barricade them.
Since we've been through.
Yeah.
Are the goblins still there?
The goblin with that spat
And
acid
the
on
ones we
you.
hung up because
They're that's not this area.
Oh, okay.
So this is where you fought the goblin that spat at you that
Yep.
fell in
that was okay,
into the pond.
Is it worthwhile taking Jorik back to the exit, getting him out of here?
Yeah,
'Cause
might
we
be.
could go.
I think so.
We
Yeah.
could do that without having collateral damage. Just asking. Justin, is that there's a way back, right?
Yark, can you go get some backup first? Go see Thunderback.
Well, we got to walk him. We're not leaving him right here.
Yeah, we got to send him to at least to the grill and the grate, get him out past that trap.
Once we get you past there, you go back to our precinct. You report this.
Selene agreed? Jorik agreed?
Yep.
Great.
They're fine with it. There shouldn't be a problem getting Jorik out of here, but what I guess you notice is you're doing a bit of a mental calculation and you don't recall this side of the complex having anything that you haven't gone through. You think you've gone through most of the doors. The only area really that you haven't explored yet, as you came in and went around the corner, instead of going to your left, which that big pit blood room, you haven't really explored that room in its entirety, but you've done every other passageway and you've gone into the room where they grabbed all of the skins. There was that big pile of skins room. Then you found the room with the dumbwaiter kind of contraption in it, which is adjacent to this room as well. But just where you first hung those goblins up, maybe there's a little bit in there that you haven't seen.
Back to that area, get rid of Jorik, explore that room, checking for other disturbances or resettings on the way, making sure we're not taking anything for granted.
Let's do it.
When Jorik walks out, the goblins see Jorik and they become a little more agitated. They're awake at this point in time and they start wiggling around. They can't do anything. It's pretty, they're
pretty helpless up there, right?
Yeah, they are. So it's an impotent rage. I didn't want to use that word because I didn't want Luke to laugh.
I do have some control.
Yeah.
Some.
They walk past. Jorik would say to you, thank you very much. I'll not forget this. I'll not forget this at all.
Go immediately back to the precinct, the CDP and PDP, and check in.
Yep.
Make a report.
Can you just make a percentage roll, please, as Jorik makes his way through the field of cows?
No.
14.
Fuck.
You hear a bit of the cows kind of get a bit agitated, even from where you are. You hear roar and stomp, stomp, clamber, and it is very audibly noticeable that the cows have reacted to Jorik.
I mean, they already know we're here. They know
They're
we're coming.
resetting the things.
Oh, I thought he was going to get squished. That was the thing I was worried about.
He's free.
Right, let's get on it. Let's go.
Back on into that blood room. Check it out. Carry on. It's either this room or the dumbwaiter.
It's a very rude thing to call a waiter.
You move your meager light source. Flopsy, you see most of this as you walk into that room, but your meager light source actually shows you that there's a corridor that is behind a false wall that you would have had to walk all the way down here before you see it because it's a switchback, I guess, is the best way to describe it. You stick your head around the switchback and the first thing that you notice is that there is a set of stairs there that are going upwards. The stairs are rickety, they're old, and they're wooden.
Where does the dumbwaiter in relation to these stairs come out?
The dumbwaiter is further in to the complex.
I'll do a quick perception in the room before we go to the stairs and a quick detect magic.
Okay.
I got a poop.
Hey.
Are you
Pooper.
Are you talking the room with all the blood?
That's it. Yep.
yeah.
Just want to make sure there's no secret rooms or anything we've missed on the way
Sure.
through.
All right. What'd you get?
I got a pooper. 20 plus 7 is 27.
Perfect. So you see again, you're by the time Flopsy's finished, he's just covered in blood as he feels all the walls that are slick with slime and grossness.
Yeah.
But you do not uncover anything further.
Then he'll do a quick detect magic around the room. And he'll try and do that as we leave every room once we've finished in there. Just do a quick perception, quick detect magic, make sure nothing's left behind.
Yeah, nothing.
So we just going to float this out here, Reg. Fancy a trip in the dumbwaiter.
In the what?
The what dumbwaiter?
Not really, mate. No.
Okay, let's go.
I'm more interested in these stairs here.
Well, the dumbwaiter goes up to the next floor.
Just worried about splitting the party in that instance.
That's how they get food from.
Oh, no. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear what you're saying. I think.
Unless we could all go in the dumbwaiter, and I don't think we could.
No,
fit.
I just thought
Well, I'm planning. Reg is thinking about using the boots to go up the wall of the stairs rather than actually on the stairs because the description of rickety did not fill me with a sense of stealthiness.
it's true. Two of us can do that.
Yeah, you very much think that these stairs are not going to be silent walking up them.
That was kind of why I thought maybe the dumbwaiter might be a
Yeah.
alternate way that you can
Look,
surprise. Motherfuckers.
ultimately, Saloni and I are going to have to get up there at
But
somehow,
if
somewhere.
I can scout it out a little bit,
Absolutely.
check it out.
Yep.
Cool. Let's do that.
Do you want me to come with?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
How's your stealth?
Number one.
number one.
I am number one at
I
stealth.
am the number one stealthiest person on my farm.
It says one right here on my sheet.
I can never find myself when I'm hiding.
Just remember, Saloni says to you, if you get caught, just pretend you're on a lover's walk.
It's true.
Right. Are we doing this, Tim?
So we walk up,
We're walking
activate the boots.
Activate the boots.
Okay, you activate the boots. You walk up the flight of stairs. The stairs aren't huge. They basically switch back again, and they go probably about 20 to 30 feet of movement is all it takes for you to get to the top.
We're doing it stealthily.
To the
Yep.
top level.
Is there any point in me rolling?
I did all right.
What's your stealth checks?
I rolled a 13.
Oh, okay. I got a total of 18.
Perfect. So you get to the very top of the stairs. You have a light source on you because that's the only way both of you can see. The light source opens up onto a small kind of an end room, I guess, an antechamber that the stairs lead up to, like a level landing is probably the better word for it. The landing itself has 2 doors that breach off of the landing. One of the doors is probably a little more decorative than the other one. The other one looks very industrial. And you're kind of looking up the corridor with where your light sees, and you smacked with a recognition. You've been in this corridor. This is the corridor that you walked down to get to the office when you went in to see Avern.
Here, Miles, go tell the others it's okay to come up.
Okay.
Slowly.
I go back down.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come up 5 foot at a time, very, very carefully and slowly, trying not to make too much noise.
All right. I'm going to, because I love how Lindsay's rolling today, I'm going to get Lindsay to roll for Saloni.
Not fair.
And I'm going to get you to roll for Flopsy. Let's make your move silently, stealthy check.
Is there a modifier that you're applying to this? By any
Yes.
chance? Is it substantial?
Saloni's not bad at stealth.
What's a modifier?
Oh, fucking like you need it.
I just want
What did you get?
17.
17. Yes, Saloni goes onto the balls of her feet and walks at the very edges of each step, so that not walking in the middle. There's a couple of creaks, but they're not quite large enough for people to be able to hear them. Flopsy, what did you get?
21.
To even
Nice.
Flopsy, you see her do that, and you kind of follow in the same footsteps, getting up into the next landing. With your dark vision, Flopsy, you can see even further up the corridor. You can see that there are 3 doors. So that office that you went in the first time, there are 2 more doors on that same side, and then there's a little kind of a mezzanine balcony. It's not exactly, it's just where the corridor opens up for the stairs. And there's a very rudimentary industrial style door here, but you very much recognize that first door that you went in where the office is. And you just make a perception check for me, all of you.
12 for Reg.
Dirty 20 for Miles.
Nice work, Miles. Flopsy can't perceive anything. He just wants to get in there and move the papers around in Vern's office. That's all he wants to do.
Mm-hmm. Miles, you think you catch the sound of murmurs, like as if people are talking in the distance. Just that not enough to hear the words that they're saying, but enough to hear that there is speaking happening further up the corridor. And we'll find out what that is next time.
They're all talking about rhubarb down there in the
I'm
corridor.
so happy we offloaded that gnome, because that would have been that would have
very
ended it,
nervous
wouldn't it?
about that. I was so nervous. At one point, I thought that might have been about Piara. I was like,
I was-
if that's Piara up on that wall.
I was-
geez,
I
we
didn't
healed
think of
up.
that. Yeah.
Do you mean Jorik, the 1-foot stomper?
I was determined it was that sort of thing. That was the guy that unlocked. Open all zombies, open all
Do
zombies.
you think he was a vampire? Or he chose
I'm very
Nicholas?
skeptic of everyone. I just think everyone's in on this. And we're just going to get
You
killed.
have been looking at Flopsy a bit weirdly too. haven't you?
Yeah, we keep lighting it fun.
It's true. It's a purifying fire. Make sure you're not undead.